Hey guys, OGL here, bringing you guys my UPO Season 2 Week 9 match against Obo29 and his Seattle Sandstorm. Very cool dude, be sure to go check him out in the description below. He makes quality content as well, he's in a bunch of cool leagues, and one of which I believe is the EWT, it's the Automatics New League, where he'll be playing us against, a bunch of really cool and talented content creators. So definitely be sure to check him out and support him this season there. And yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into the match really quick. Gonna give a quick rundown of the team. Not gonna do a full team builder portion though, just because we're taking this league a little bit more chill if you haven't, picked up the vibe already yet. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump right into team matchup. Our team, if you did forget, consists of the Mega Lucario, Garchomp, Rotom Wash, Rabombi, Rose Raid, Spirit Tomb, Steelix, Victini, Reuniclus, Tyrantrum, Braviary, and Kangaskhan, with our Z users being Garchomp and Reuniclus, while our opponent's team consists of the Rayquaza, Celesteela, Raikou, Cofagrigus, Darmanitan, Hitmontop, Lickitung, Mega Sharpedo, Staraptor, Whimsicott, Uxie, and Gastrodon, with the Z users being Celesteela and Cofagrigus. So you see Rayquaza, and that Mon absolutely runs us through. Dragon Dance is really good versus us, with just, dual stabs potentially, and like either Earthquake or V-Create or something like that. But I'm also really, really scared of like a mixed Life Orb set. I think that makes a lot of sense versus my team as well. It can really just claim a kill every time it comes in as something slower, so that's something I'm very, very scared of. Celesteela is always a big threat because Celesteela, Mega Sharpedo is especially threatening in the late game. It really does have a great matchup versus us. If you can get some chip on some things and get a speed boost off, you can potentially just win the game with that. So that is something we are going to have to keep in mind. And then he has some really obnoxious mons like Whimsicott, Uxie, Hitmontop, Cofagrigus, mons that are really hard to kill. So we're just going to have to, potentially play around those guys and keep up offensive momentum, pressure on them. And yeah, I think we can do that with the squad we have, though. As you can see, first one we have right here is going to be Swords Dance, Mega Lucario, rocking out with an Adamant Nature, Swords Dance, Close Combat, Extreme Speed, and Meteor Mash. This Mon really does put a bunch of work in this game. I went Adamant because I don't really think I need to bother outspeeding Sharpedo. With +2 Extreme Speed, we actually knock that thing out 100% of the time after rocks. And it also, knocks out the Whimsicott after rocks, or after a little bit of chip, he's super bulky Whimsicott, but I don't expect that to be his Lucario check, obviously. Excuse me. I went with that over Bolt Punch, obviously, just simply because of the fact that it can knock out the Mega Sharpedo after rocks at +2, so that I figured that was a nicer move to have, because we can still handle things like Whimsicott fairly well with Extreme Speed. Same with like mons that might be boost, like a +1 Rayquaza, stuff like that. And then Meteor Mash, Close Combat hits everything else. Next up, we have a Focus Sash lead, Rose Raid with Toxic Spike, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power Fire, and Giga Drain. Now this is going to pretty much be our designated lead. We're going to try and get up a layer T-Spikes. He does not have a Guarded Poison on his team, and I want to take advantage of that. Other than that, the 3 attacks cover a lot of his team pretty well. As long as we can get up T-Spikes, and provided he didn't bring like default Whimsicott or Rapid Spin on like him on top or something like that, we should be able to keep them up for the game and really chip his team down into range of Extreme Speed from Lucario, like his faster stuff, and chip his fat down into range of our stronger attacks. So I figured that was a very nice kind of move to have, and strategy to go with right here in this matchup. Next up, we have our Tyrantrum rocking out with the Choice Scarf, Head Smash, Outrage, Dragon Claw, and Earthquake. Another potential win con. Great mid-game breaker, though, to say the least. His team does not switch into Head Smash at all. His resist is a Celesteela, which takes a ton from Adamant Head Smash, regardless of how bulky that thing is. So potentially sparing Head Smash mid to late game is a really good option for us. Just chipping down his team in range of other monster squad, or potentially even just winning with Tyrantrum, just being that we don't have to take any Head Smash recoil, and we're pretty just naturally bulky, a little bit hit or two. Excuse me. But yeah, that's going to be Tyrantrum this week. Next up, after that, we have Rotom Wash rocking out with an Papa Berry, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Hidden Power Ice, and Will-O-Wisp. We're rocking out with the Papa Berry just for longevity. After we take a hit or two from Ray, we can get our health back up and be in a really good spot. Hidden Power Ice to hit that thing as hard as possible. I am very scared of the Rayquaza. And like I said, I don't remember exactly what the EVs were for on this. We played this game like a month ago at this point. But I know it was mostly to take as many one-hits from Ray as we possibly could, whether it be, Mixed Life Orb, or whether it be Dragon Dance and already boosted, stuff like that. We can definitely eat a hit you know, get off a big hidden power ice and go from there. But yeah. I'm gonna yawn a lot in this video, guys. Just a heads up, it is like midnight and I am tired, but I have a long day tomorrow and I want to get this up, recorded so I can get up to you guys before then. But yeah, next up we have our Garchomp, which is another secondary win con right here. Rocking out with Rocky MZ, Sandstorm, Swords Dance, Earthquake, Stone Edge. Has two options in this game. If we have his faster stuff eliminated, we can potentially use the Rocky MZ Stone Edge to break through things like Celesteela potentially. And if we do, you know, have his frailer stuff alive, if we can get a, you know, a Z Sandstorm, boost our speed and outspeed everything on his team, that's obviously really nice. And then the Edgequake combination just hits his team really hard. The other thing that we don't hit very hard is like things like Uxie, I guess, and we don't hit the Whimsicott without a lot of chip very, very hard. So that is going to be something that we have to do before then if we want to win with our Garchomp. But Swords Dance also can, you know, circumvent that problem pretty well, as long as the Uxie especially is very weakened. But yeah, it's going to be Garchomp this week. And then lastly, we have our Steelix. It's going to be our rocking out with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Fang, Roar. Main option is to just kind of get up rocks. It's also to potentially, you know, check the Rayquaza. If he's like a fully physical variant, we can take 2 hits from that thing. -2 V creates, I want to say, but I know for a fact we can take 2 +1 Earthquakes. Do a ton with Ice Fang back. That's where we're sheer forced to do as much damage with that as possible. And then we are Roar to roar out Uxie, Celesteela, mons like that we don't take on with the 2 coverage moves that we're packing. So yeah, that is going to be our 6th this week. Let's just jump right into the battle. You can see the 6 my opponent elected to go with. Looks like he went with the Hitmontop, Raikou, the Whimsicott, Mega Sharpedo, Uxie, and Rayquaza. So right off the bat, like I said before, I'm just going to lead off with my Roserade. I don't see any reason not to. If I can get up Toxic Spikes in this game, I'm obviously in a really good position because he does not have a grounding poison on his roster at all. And usually the battles start at 33. I guess this one started a little bit later. Sorry about that. We'll see when it wants to go. There we go. So yeah, we are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Obo, and my plan here is to get up the Toxic Spikes and force a spin from this Hitmontop, if at all possible. So we're going to send out our Roserade right here, and we can actually probably take this thing all 1v1 just because, you know, Hitmontop isn't the hardest hitting mon in the world, as he's going to go with a Fake Out, do a pretty decent chunk right here, make us flinch. We lose our Sash. This is fine. I think I can live any other hit from this thing. I want to gauge damage on this with Sludge Bomb. We actually end up getting a crit and a poison on this Hitmontop as he goes for the high jump kick and he misses. Now this turn was pretty ridiculous. I feel bad. Pretty much everything went wrong for him in that turn. He's running high jump kick to, you know, obviously circumvent the defense drops that he would get from close combat. But I guess that's the risk you take when you run a high jump kick over close combat. You trade the defense drops for inaccuracy and a potential recoil. So it's very unfortunate for our opponent, but very nice for us in the fact that he cannot spin away our Toxic Spikes if we're able to get them out later. Only other way of getting rid of them is the Defog Whimsy, if you wanted to bring that, because I don't think Ray gets Defog. It might get Defog, but it's not running it because it's a Rayquaza and it's just going to click buttons and hit things hard. So that's going to force our Toxic Spike to potentially be up to stay if we can get them off right here, which is what I'm going to elect to do. So Uxie can try and go for a Psychic, or he can try and go for, you know, a knockoff U-turn, anything like that, go for its rocks. But I'm just going to elect to get up a layer as he does go for the Zen Headback. Gets a crit. I don't think that mattered. I'm not super bulky Roserade. If he had any investment at all, he probably knocked us out. But we got up our layer. Rose did its job. I'm going to go into my Tyrantrum because nothing this thing can do really threatens me. I'm going to throw off a Head Smash and I'm going to pick up a KO at this point, honestly. He has nothing to switch into this thing at all. Head Smash, you're going to see, does like 65-70% to an Uxie, which is pretty insane. He's going to go for the Foul Play in case we wanted to set up. If we were Dragon Knights at this point, I think we might have just won the game. But right here, nonetheless, we're going to go for another Head Smash. We're going to knock out the Uxie. So Tyrantrum picking up his first kill of the season, doing really well so far. And we have that Toxic Spike up for whatever wants to come in at this point, as the Sharpedo elects to come in right here. Now, this next turn, I'm going to throw off a Head Smash just in case he thinks I'm not Scarf for some reason, or he doesn't scout for it, because we can knock him out. As he's going to make the smart play, go for the Protect, obviously getting his speed boost and all that good stuff. But while that does happen, he does take a little bit of Poison Chip, which is, again, really nice, because eventually he's going to be put in range of a just regular E-Speed for my Lucario, so I might not even need a Sword Stance in the end game. Because right here, he is going to Mega Evolve, throw off a big hit, In hindsight, I probably should have saved my Tyrantrum. It was a phenomenal win con in this game, and I probably shouldn't have thrown it away right away, because at this point, after a little bit of chip on Raikou and Whimsicott, we won the game with Tyrantrum, but he's going to go for the Ice Fang. He is going to be able to knock us out, but I'm not in too bad of a spot at this point. He's taken 2 turns of Poison Chip, and he has already thrown off his Mega and gotten his boost, and I still have a full health Rotom in the back where I can pretty much just throw off a Thunderbolt risk-free right here, as he's going to go for the Crunch, which is a 2-hit KO, showing us how strong Mega Sharpedo really is, but we're going to be able to throw Thunderbolt, knock out this Mega Sharpedo, and what's been a very, very offensive game up to this point. Right here, he is going to elect to go into the Whimsicott, which is completely fine. It's going to get poisoned. This is another mon I really, really want to poison. Now all we need is the Raikou to get, poisoned, and it can't, Sub-Calm Mind all over us and all the good stuff, as I am going to switch out into my Steelix, expecting some kind of grass move. I want to get at my rocks and start roaring things around, start throwing off big hits, as he does go for the Moonblast, and that's actually going to kind of just bounce off our Steelix right here, so we're going to get a little bit of lefty residual, and we're obviously out of range from any 2 hits from this Whimsicott at this point. Because if he specs, then he just, threw off a Moonblast, but I don't think he was at that point, as he is going to go for a Defog right here, but that's completely fine. I still am very, very healthy at this point, and I can take off on the rest of his team, as I am going to get my rocks. If he wants to defog them away, that's completely fine. I'm going to throw off a big Ice Fang and get a huge chunk on this Whimsicott. If he wants to go into his Raikou, I Earthquake the next turn. If he wants to go into Ray, I Ice Fang again. So Steelix is in a really good position here to pick up a KO pretty much no matter what my opponent goes for, as he does end up going for the Defog, as I get off a big, big Ice Fang this next turn, as you're going to see. Really pressuring this thing to try and keep rocks off my side of the field, as at this point I believe I just start clicking rocks again, because if he wants to keep defogging them away, that's fine. But he is going to eventually go into Poison, as he actually does reveal to be a Iapapa Berry, or one of those, a Guave. So, same difference, there was a Pinch Berry and all that stuff, but he is going to get a little bit of health back. I believe after this U-turn, I believe I go for a Stealth Rock, I want to say. But Steelix is in a phenomenal position at this point, as he does go out into the Rayquaza right here, which was a pretty ballsy play considering the fact that I just went for Ice Fang. But it ended up working out for our opponent, because he gets in before rocks go back up. So, again, very ballsy play on my opponent's part, but, definitely makes sense nonetheless. Because right here, I can't afford to let this thing set up. It's going to go for an Earthquake. Weakening this does make me a lot weaker to Raikou in the endgame right here, as I do take a huge chunk from that thing. I did not think it was going to do all that much, but Ice Fang right here is going to do a huge chunk to the Ray, as we do get a little bit of lefty's residual back. Brings us back up to around 76 HP, that good stuff, as he is going to pull the switch out into his Raikou, as I believe I double out this turn myself. I believe that was him trying to catch me going into something, as I am going to go into my Rotom. Yeah, so very, very good double on Obo's part right there, being able to catch me on my Rotom switch. I don't want this thing to start Calm Minding all over me, so I'm going to pull the switch back out into my Steelix. I'm also going to scout for the Electric move, obviously, as he does go for the Thunderbolt, which is, again, completely fine. He's really lacking switching to Steelix at this point, even though we're not super offensive. We are Sheer Force, so Ice Fang's hurting the Whimsicott and the Rayquaza, as he's going to go for the Shadow Ball. Revealing that's his best way to hit me, as I am just going to go for an Earthquake and get off as much damage as humanly possible on this Mon right here. As you're going to see, it's actually not going to take him out. He's going to live on just a sliver of health, which is unfortunate, because this next Shadow Ball can potentially take us out, and we're going to lose a tiny bit of diff. But regardless, Steelix was going to go down the next turn or whatever came in anyways, as we actually are going to live the Shadow Ball, which is great for Steelix, because it's going to live to see, just about one more turn. It's going to be able to take out the Raikou, stopping him on. It was really supposed to check in this game, as it does end up going down right here, as we are going to get a little bit of lefty's recovery. Again, does not matter. Anything my opponent goes for is going to pretty much knock us out at this point. He does go into the Rayquaza, lives the rock chip on basically like 1 HP, which is, again, totally fine, as he is going to go straight for a Dragon Ascent just to get off that cool, Rayquaza flying dragon animation, as it does end up knocking out our Steelix right here. So Steelix put in a ton of work. It brought the Whimsicott very low, it brought the Ray very low, it knocked out Raikou, which is more than we could have asked from a, pretty bulky Steelix are not even super offensive. So right here, I'm going to go on to my Lucario. I'm going to allow my Lucario to get the last 2 kills. I'm not going to need the SC in this game at all. I'm just going to click Extreme Speed in case he's Scarf Ray. I, really see no reason not to in this point in the game. If he goes Whimsicott, he's obviously 2-hit KO'd, and he can never KO me back with Whimsicott, as Ray does end up going down, leaving Whimsicott against the world. The crazy thing is, if he wasn't poisoned and my Lucario was more weakened and I went down, he actually could have potentially won the game with Whimsicott. As I am just going to go for the safe E-Speed. 2 of these should always knock it out, as he's going to go for a Moonblast. Again, this is fine. I always live one of these. I have pretty decent amount of Spit F investment. As he does go for the Moonblast, gets the special attack drop. With this next turn, we are going to be able to finish him off with another Extreme Speed. So we are able to pick up a nice 3-0 victory. GG's to Obo. Very, very good game. It was a really tough matchup on him. He did not have much for Mega Lucario or any of my offense at all, honestly. Like, Tyrantrum absolutely ran him through. I'm kind of mad at myself for sacking him because he could have done a lot more work that game. So that was probably a pretty dumb play on my end. But also not having a grounded poison, it shows you it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent's team. And it stops potential win cons and things like that, as unfortunately he was not able to kind of play around those and stuff like that very well without having a good majority of his grounded mons toxic. I think the only one that did not get poisoned was the Raikou, which is the one I wanted poisoned the most, so a very good play on his end to get those away before it can come in and get poisoned and all that stuff. But yeah, we are able to pick up a nice victory, putting together a little streak after having a nice, a pretty bad 3-game skid earlier in the season. So hopefully we can string together some wins, secure ourselves a nice playoff spot, and go in and put a push for the championship. I believe next week after this we are playing Zombie and his Victoria Victinis. Again, very, very talented player. We have a battle versus him going up for APA Academy this weekend, and then next week we'll have another battle against him going up for UPO Wi-Fi. So you'll see a lot of him on the channel. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, be sure to subscribe so you can check our battles as they go up every week and all that good stuff. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Later.